because nobody's there to tell me close that refrigerator door. I know my fiance buys good food.
Yeah.
She cooks great meals. And if I would take one helping of the meal, it'd be great. If I would take one helping of the fat-free, like little sweet, because I have a sweet tooth. So she tries to get stuff that, while it cures the sweet tooth, it's only 100 calories or something like that, which is great. Except there's 12 in a box, so I ate all 12 of them at one time. Now I've consumed 1,200 calories.
Yeah.
It's all about willpower and control, isn't it?
Well, actually, willpower it's a very draining force. So the human body and the human brain were wired for comfort and safety. So you are getting a lot of comfort out of all of that delicious food that you just described to
100%.
me, and that sweet tooth. And so what you have to kind of train yourself to do is find comfort and safety and those things from other places, and that's hard. You're changing.
Cauliflower ain't cutting it, Cammie.
Yeah. Robert and I were joking before the show, and we were talking about nutrition and what is good nutrition, and I was telling him about balancing macronutrients, and we were joking about carbohydrates, and I said, yeah, the problem with carbohydrates is that cauliflower and cupcakes are in the same food group.
Exactly.
So it's not that you have to eliminate carbohydrates, it's eating the right carbohydrates in the right quantities with protein and healthy fats.
So 4 ounces of pasta instead of a box of pasta.
Yeah.
Is he better off just getting rid of the pasta, though?
You know, it depends on what time of day you're eating it, too. You can have those carbohydrates usually earlier in the morning at lunchtime because you're active and you're using those calories. Those type of calories become available to the body very quickly. If you have them at night and you're not that active, the body's going to likely store them.
Aren't there a lot of foods that Tom could eat that he's already loves and enjoys, but he can continue to do that on a healthy?
And that is exactly part of the process, Robert. You're 100% right. It's being able to find ways to still satisfy yourself with food. We love to eat. We love food. So how do I satisfy myself, not feel deprived? And that's part of that behavior
I'll give you
change.
one hack. One hack to this. Get you a food spiraler, and people would be amazed if you get a good zucchini and spiral that zucchini and put cold spiraled zucchini in a bowl and pour the hot marinara sauce over it, you'd be amazed how much consistency that zucchini takes of pasta. And you cut out the pasta carbohydrates. You fool yourself into still thinking you're eating pasta, and you're eating a dish that is not only healthy for you, but not unhealthy with all the carbohydrates.
So you just gave a great example of things that we talk about in our Lean and Mean program. So we have a 6-week lifestyle management program coming up, and that's what we do. We share ideas on how you can kind of shape and change those behaviors. And when you come together in a group and you find that like-minded support and you kind of learn these things from each other, it becomes something that you can adopt and sustain.
What are some of the things you offer through the Ranch Fitness and at On Top of the World to help people? Because we're dealing with people my age and older a lot of times, and we're all up against it because we're not getting any younger. Our bodies aren't getting any more flexible. So it at times, you're just like, it's too much of a chore to work out.
Exactly right. So funny you should ask. Last weekend, we just wrapped up an 8-week program at the ranch called Raise the Bar Weight Loss Challenge. We're getting ready to start our Lean and Mean program at On Top of the World. So throughout the year, and even at Master the Possibilities, there we do a very comprehensive 12-week program called Lose for Life, because what we want to teach people are sustainable changes. We don't want people to go on a diet, lose 10 or 15 pounds, and typically not only gain that weight back, but a lot of times even more. So we constantly are running these types of programs to educate, motivate, and help people with accountability.
And people my age grew up where our teenage years was in the 80s, our 20-somethings were in the 90s, where there was excess and just nobody cared. We were all going to live forever, do what you want. People went to the gym, they did Pilates and everything, but they didn't care. And it's hard to continue that same way.
I think that even during that time, that's when that processed food got introduced to us, and diabetes became a major issue. We
Yeah.
were just talking about processed food being a major issue.
I really believe that processed foods is one of the greatest undermining factors of our health
Yeah,
in
but
this country.
bologna's good.
I know.
Hot dogs are good.
Hey, I have 4 kids. I shudder when I think of all the Captain Crunch cereal that I bought when they were younger.
Shells and
thinking
cheese
it
are
wasn't
good.
that bad. Yeah, no, I know.
What are just if you had to tell somebody, you know, they come and say, look, baby steps, because that's how you have to do this. Once you get out of the routine, you can't just jump right back into an Arnold Schwarzenegger workout and think you're gonna, because it will kill you or it will hurt you or you'll get so discouraged that you can't do it. So if you had to tell people because of baby steps, what's the first step someone should take if they want to or if they know they have to get healthy to sustain their life?
Yeah, so you used a great way to describe that, baby steps, not only for exercise, because I think that's what you're asking about, but also those changes related to nutrition.
All changes, food,
Yeah,
everything.
all changes. Smaller is going to be more acceptable. So like I said, human body at our DNA level, we want comfort and safety. And if that change is too big, we view that as a threat. And so we will rebel against that. So first thing when it comes to nutrition, really, really important, look at your macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. When those are balanced well, you won't feel hungry because the protein and the healthy fat will stabilize your blood sugar, and so you'll feel very satisfied. When it comes to exercise, shoot for 30 to 60 minutes of moderate intensity exercise most days of the week. You don't have to live by that no pain, no gain philosophy. And the most exciting thing about starting back to exercise slowly is how quickly the body will respond to that. Human body is extremely resilient. And so little bits of stimulus, exercise is a stress on the body. And that stimulus will get the body to respond, and you'll get stronger quicker, and your endurance will increase.
At once you get into the 55 range and above, is a brisk walk probably better all around, joint wise, body wise, and all? Is it probably better than jogging?
You know that there's not really a great answer for that, yes or no. That won't work for this population because it depends on what that person's experience level is. So we have lots of people jogging through on top of the world that are certainly 55 and over, and their body is conditioned for that, and that's okay for them. I wouldn't recommend it for somebody to start jogging. A brisk walk would be a great place to start. But really, we have to take age out of the equation. It has nothing to do with how old you are. It has to do with what's your capability level.
So a guy like me with bad knees, a bad back, and a bad attitude, a brisk walk's probably going to help.
That's going to be a great place to start. A brisk walk and some strength training. Right, Tom?
You know, and when you say strength training, people immediately think, you know, bodybuilder, Gold's Gym. That is the farthest thing from strength training. That's how you get really strong, and if you want to do it. But when you're talking about a 5-pound dumbbell or a 2.5-pound bell or something that you swing with your arms as you're walking or something. That's actually weight training as well.
It absolutely is. So you don't even need to have weights. You can use your own body weight for a lot of the resistance in exercises. And we try to train people very functionally. Functional training is kind of a buzzword in the industry the last couple of years. And so what that means is we use resistive loads, whether it's dumbbells or resistance bands or your own body weight, and we try to mimic how we move in real life. So instead of just grabbing a heavy bar and doing bicep curls, where in life do you walk around and pick up two objects that weigh exactly the same and lift something symmetrically? It's not how we move in real life.
The gym when I was 22 trying to make women impressed with my arm size.
Yeah. And if you're looking to just hypertrophy your muscles, grow your muscle size, that formula works. But if you want to live well, move well, feel great, you want to train more functionally.
So Cammie, at the ranch, what do you guys do with the first thing when people sign up for Lean and Mean? That's at the ranch?
No, Lean and Mean is actually behind the gates. The program at the ranch was the Raise the Bar Weight Loss Challenge, which just finished.
So with the Raise the Bar, what is it that people would do the first thing What's the first thing that you do with them?
Well, the first thing that they do is they have 2 counseling sessions. One is based on exercise and one is based on nutrition. So it's kind of like an intake, right? We see what is your activity level, what does your nutrition look like now, and we kind of guide them as to where we want them to go. And then we meet with them every week, once, twice, sometimes 3 times a week, to see where they're at, how they're doing, if they're staying the course.
Are they counting calories or anything like?
Not really. One of the things to make it easier, going back to Tom's point about baby steps, that was a really good point, making small changes. So we like to use something called My Plate, and it is, you take your plate and you make it like a circle pie graph, and half of your plate should be color. The other half should be divided half for lean protein.
She's not talking cherry donuts.
No, I know she
Yeah.
means cauliflower, green beans, broccoli, zucchini,
all of that
eggplant, all that kind of stuff.
all of that colorful stuff, and then you have a healthy lean protein and a healthy grain. And so that automatically does 2 things. It balances your 3 macronutrients, and it keeps them in the right portion size.
This seems like we're a long way from the nutrition triangle I learned in the 3rd grade.
That's right. We've moved away from that years ago. The food pyramid.
The food
You're
pyramid.
so
Oh,
right,
yeah.
Tom. That's right.
It was. Let me ask you. There's a couple rules that people. There's a couple schools people go with. Like I know there's a school that says breakfast, big breakfast, then a sensible lunch, and then a small dinner. Because after dinner you're not as active as you were. Big breakfast because it's right before you become very active. Mm-hmm. I know people that go to that one, but I like sensible breakfast, snack, sensible lunch, snack, sensible dinner, because it keeps my metabolism going the entire day. Because if you eat a big breakfast, your body thinks, well, I ain't got to do a damn thing. I got plenty of food energy. I don't have to do anything. So actually, by eating a big breakfast, your metabolism slows down sometimes.
Yeah, and depending on what you eat in that big breakfast,
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Yeah, you hit on a lot of really important points there. And at the end of the day, you need a certain amount of calories to sustain your metabolism, as you mentioned. But how and when you get those calories is very dependent on your energy expenditure and your personality, because you want to keep yourself satisfied and happy.
Yes.
So all of those things need
If
to
you
factor in.
if you consume 2,000 calories a day, but 1,000 of those calories you consume after 8 p.m. at night,
Right.
that's a problem.
Yes.
even though it's the USDA recommended 2,000 calories.
Yes.
Although, can you be honest with me and tell me that the USDA recommended calories and the BMI or whatever that thing is that says, because I'm 5'9", even when I played college football at 5'9" and 225 pounds, I was obese according to the scale. Isn't this an individual thing? There is no scale that you can put anybody into.
For the most part, BMI, which is body mass index, is a height weight measurement.
Right.
Okay. And for most of the population, it's going to measure fairly accurately, but there's always going to be those outlying circumstances that are very genetically driven, like you have very high muscle.
Yeah, I did at the time.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm still, muscle-wise, it's still all there.
Yeah.
It's just the party keg's there, too.
Yeah. We have, this is a great example. We just brought into the ranch a local competitive weight, she's a competitive weight trainer. She owns a local CrossFit gym. She's a dynamo. She's a little bitty thing. I'm 5'7". I'm guessing she's maybe 5'1" or 2. We weigh about the same. She is lean as can be, but she's so muscular.
Well, yeah, the BMI when I was in college, I had 4% body fat. And I know this because our coaching staff and all, because when you do your yearly physicals, we did the immersed in the pool body fat check.
Yeah.
Which is the most accurate, the water. So I had 4% body fat, 226 pounds, but according to BMI's chart, I was morbidly obese for my height. I should have been 175 pounds.
No, you're right. And that's where those charts do fall down. Yeah.
When you talk about marrying fitness and nutrition together, that's the only way to really achieve long-lasting body and weight loss and fitness and great heart and everything, is to combine the two together. You can't do one without the other. Is that accurate?
100% true. Couldn't agree more. You can't outrun your fork. And we tell people that are really looking.
That's great.
Yeah.
You can't outrun your fork.
Yeah.
That's great.
We tell people right away that are really looking to lose weight, nutrition is going to be the most important element to focus on.
And I had a nutritionist once tell me that an easy way to track how you burn calories is to know whatever your body weight is, multiply that by 10. And that's a ballpark figure of what your body will burn in calories if you're just active. So at me, I'm 290 pounds. So my body, if I'm active, if I'm moving around all day and everything, not working out or anything, but just moving around regularly, my body through that movement will burn about 2,900 calories. My problem is I take in about 3,800 calories. And I know it's overly simplistic, but is it good a way to lose weight? And it's all about, for me, it's all about weight loss. If you take in less calories than you burn, your body will lose mass over the long haul.
Yeah, and so that is true. I mean, it's really a scientific equation.
You got to do it healthy now. But
yes, it's a scientific equation at the end of the day. You want to take in less calories, you want to expend more. Your body will then go to the fat stores for the energy it needs, and that's how you lose weight. But at the same time, you want to maintain the healthy part of your body weight. So what we try to do is teach people about body composition. Sometimes I say, you don't want to lose weight, you want to lose fat. Because you don't want to lose the weight that comes from your lean mass.
No,
your
I'd like to
muscle.
be about 265 with no fat.
Yeah, see, you want to keep that lean mass.
Right.
And for our population, as you're aging, myself included in that, it is critical that we hold on to that muscle so that we can age well and function well.
Now let's talk about something that people may not understand. You're talking about the ranch and on top of the world. You said one is behind the gate. Explain what you mean by what the difference between the ranch and on top of the world is, and meaning behind the gate.
Yeah, so behind the gate are those amenities that are for our residents only. Those are private facilities. And we have 2 fitness centers for our residents. And then the Ranch Fitness Center and Spa sits outside of those private gates. And that is a beautiful fitness center that's open to the public.
See, I was not aware until you just came in and told me about the ranch. I was not aware that I could have the ability. Now I need to lean on Robert a little bit.
And where's the ranch?
Yeah.
Where's
So the ranch is located on 80th Avenue, which is just about a mile and a half off of State Road 200.
And about a half-mile south of Shalom Park.
I
Right.
need to lean on Robert. See, hey,
Yeah.
we'll do some sort of workout program where I lose weight and talk about it on the radio.
There you go. There you go. We'll get you set up with a personal trainer.
Robert
and everything.
was like, that sounds like a good idea. How much are you spending?
We brought you golf passes. I mean,
Well, I know.
you could have just dropped the cart behind.
Yeah, you brought me a golf pass. The next Saturday, my back went out and I had
Oh.
surgery.
Sorry.
Oh, no.
I kind of blame that on you now.
Thank you.
When you talk about fitness and getting fit, the hardest part of that to me is starting. What do you suggest to people, or how do you suggest to people? What signs can you see that this is why you need to start, and then how do you start? Because it's a very hard process to go from a couch potato to trying to get into shape.
Yeah, how are we motivating?
Yeah, how are we motivating?
Yeah, it is a difficult process because it can be very overwhelming. There's just a plethora of information out there on the internet about dieting and exercising, and it can be confusing and overwhelming. So I think that the most important thing is to elevate this to a priority in your life. You really want to lose weight. This has to become a priority, and you have to figure out a way to keep that on the forefront of your brain throughout the day. And so I love the apps that they have for smartphones now. They are so easy to use, and you can plug in what you're eating throughout the day, and the app sets up very specific to the user with what your current weight is, what your goal weight is, your activity level, and it gives you an amount of calories for the day. And so you are constantly aware and thinking about your nutrition throughout the day.
I use my app just to brag on how many steps I take.
Yeah, so and that's part of it. That's part of the motivation when you see how many steps you've taken.
How important, or is it important, to have something or somebody that you're beholden to when it comes to working out. Like I can't work out if it was just me doing it. It's not really. But if I have a workout partner, now I have somebody that's depending on me as their motivation, and so it's easier for me to work out. Is that normal across the board, that having somebody that can hold you accountable helps?
So important. So that's why we offer these lifestyle management programs. We have many personal trainers at all of our facilities for that reason. And we encourage people to find workout buddies, because you don't want to let somebody down if you made a date to meet them at the gym. And not only that, but then there's that social component. So you're not just going by yourself. Nobody's making friends with treadmills, right? You're going to the gym. You want to hang out and have fun. So when you meet somebody there, now you're working out, but you've also got a social element there. So it's a win-win all around.
Yeah, because the worst thing is when you go to the gym and you see the person that's got their headphones plugged into the treadmill, and you're like, I can't talk to you. We can't have a social moment, And part of the gym, and I guess it's from growing up in the '80s, where the gym back in the '80s, the gym was the singles bar.
Yeah,
That's
I remember.
You got more dates at the gym than you did going to the nightclub. But so maybe I still have that mentality where you need to communicate with people, but nothing aggravates me more than seeing everybody with their headsets on, ignoring each other in the gym.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people just find that intrinsic motivation. They just want to put their music on.
That's
and go
why
to
the group
town.
activities are so
Yeah.
great.
Well, that's what I was going to
Yeah.
ask. Do you have at the ranch, do you have group classes where people, they feel like they're part of something?
Oh, we have classes, yes. As a matter of fact, we have classes in 4 different rooms. We have 3 group fitness studios and an indoor pool. And so we're programming in all 4 of those places every single day, except for Sunday.
You bring up a point with the pool. The pool gives people access that have joint issues and have pain issues. The pool can give you an incredible workout with very little pain or very little pressure put on a lot of your joints. Do you find a lot of people are really excited about the pool workout classes?
Yes, that's extremely insightful of you. You're 100% right. Our indoor pool is one of our most popular features, because what happens when you're in the pool, if you're standing in water waist deep, you weigh half of what you do on land. So water has the exact opposite properties of land exercises. Water is
Right.
buoyant, so it lifts you, and therefore it really takes away the stress on the joints, as you mentioned. So people can jog in the pool and
Yes.
feel great.
One of my
And
favorite
the pool
work.
is heated, so it's at what, 90 degrees
It's
or
at
more?
88 degrees.
Oh, so that helps with the joints
really
and everything, too.
comfortable, really comfortable to get into and exercise in. Yeah, and you feel great when you're in the pool.
You can run. I literally have bad knees and cannot run on a soft surface, hard surface. I'll get in the pool. I can run in place 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah,
And it doesn't bother me because I'm not banging my feet on a hard surface.
right, the water lifts you up. So in addition to that, there's resistive properties of the water. So just moving through the water, that resistance is great exercise as well.
If people want to find out how they can become a part of the classes, the groups, the workout, or the fitness programs at the ranch, tell us how we can find out more information.
You can get all the information you want at ranchocala.com, and I can even share with you that we have over 100 virtual workouts on our website, free to the entire Ocala community.
We're out of time, Robert. Can't talk about Khaleesi. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about the greatest community coming to Marion
Khaleesi,
County,
yeah. Well-
Khaleesi, but we can't.
Well, I'm planning to bring our
We're out of
somebody
time,
soon
so-
for that. so.
But you'll be back, and
Yeah.
we'll talk about Khaleesi again
Yeah.
with its charter school and its natatorium and its amazing houses that
And
are
all the
being built.
houses, yep.
So we'll talk about that next time.
Yep.
This has been the On Top of the World with Robert Colin, and he brought with him Cammie Dennis. She's the fitness director at On Top of the World and the Ranch Fitness Center and Spa. We'll be right back at this timeout, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. Today's program is brought to you by BASF, the makers of Provosol. USDA has estimated that the peanut acreage nationwide will be down about 2%. Same thing for Georgia, Florida, and Alabama. They may be down as much as 5%. But there's a lot of corn planted recently with the higher prices for corn and cotton. Some analysts predict today that there will be 3.5% or higher cutback. Farmers have to report their planted acres to Farm Service Agency by July the 15th. The season kickoff has been difficult for southeastern growers, experiencing cooler than normal temperatures and some storms, leaving 7 to more inches along the Georgia-Alabama belt. The VC region is cold and wet, with the southwest still extremely dry. Peanut specialists warn producers to not get in a hurry. Wait for the soil temps to average 68 degrees for 3 consecutive days before planting.
Provosol fungicide is to plant fields with vowels are to the English language. With it, disease control sind complete.
It couldn't be any clearer. Provosol fungicide is to peanut fields what vowels are to the English language. Without it, disease control isn't complete. Provosol fungicide from BASF is the missing piece you need to finish off disease. Always read and follow label directions.
Attention farmers, you could be eligible for technical and financial assistance under a program offered by the Natural Resources Conservation Service. The Conservation Stewardship Program is now accepting applications. To learn more, visit your local USDA Service Center.
Today's program brought to you by BASF, the makers of Provosol. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting.
Hello, I'm Mark Sears with Regency Printing. With over 10 years in the printing business, I know you'll find Regency Printing the place for all your local printing needs. Plus, I have fax services, mailbox rentals, notary service, U.S. mail, pack and ship, all at one convenient location, 2375 Northeast 25th Avenue. Just look for the yellow signs. Regency Printing, 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Regency Printing.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
Howdy folks, RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
Two Men in a Truck.
Florida voters overwhelmingly passed a constitutional amendment to do one simple thing. Require that any expansion of gambling be approved by the voters, not the politicians, not the lobbyists. It's called voter control of gambling, and it's the law. But gambling lobbyists want politicians to break it. They've hatched a plan to expand gambling without your approval. More casinos, legalized sports betting, even slot machines on cell phones, just like the strip mall casinos that called themselves internet cafes. All over again, and all cooked up by Tallahassee lobbyists. It would be the biggest expansion of gambling in Florida history without the biggest thing required by Florida's Constitution, your approval. Voter control of gambling isn't a suggestion. It's the law. Tell your legislator, don't break it. Sponsored by No Casinos.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth, the only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in